baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big chair. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me important, we're tired tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Fight walk folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. With this one majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage Ide out of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here on a Thursday. Hope everybody in the chat is doing well. I hope everyone's had a fantastic day. I hope you have gotten everything you've wanted, because now you have to sit through 2 hours of me, which is not going to be fun for anyone. So that's why I hope you've all had a good day. That's all we can hope for. What's wrong with the audio? It says Laughing Man. Probably nothing, but I did acknowledge your comment, okay? Oh, wait, Jeremy is talking, and there it was. How was your weekend? Yeah, chat, how was your weekend? What are the oranges for? And then some Hail to the YouTube chat. Hail to the Rumble chat. Hail to the Kick chat. JD Advance starting us out the right way. And yeah, time to glaze. You're damn right. Donuts in the chat. GlazeCast 199. Not muted, but low. Actually, today I did go see Backrooms, the new movie out, the new horror psychological thriller from YouTuber. So a YouTuber, what's his name? Kane something. He made a viral video years ago. He's made a lot of them called Backrooms, and now it's gotten a wide release. I wish I could tell you that I loved it. I thought it was kind of meh. I didn't love it. There's some interesting elements in it for sure. There's moments that you're really pulled into it, but they are few and far between. And yeah, overall, it just didn't land for me. The actor who's been in a lot of stuff, Chiwetel Ejiofor, he's great. He's the best part of the movie outside of there's certain moments. He's actually really good. He's been in a lot of stuff. He was in that Four Brothers movie with Mark Wahlberg. He's been in some Denzel movies. He's been in a lot of stuff over the years. But so he was really good. The lead actor was really good, but it's not a cohesive movie for me, in my opinion. Obsession is significantly better. So I would highly recommend everybody go watch Obsession. I think that Backrooms is going to do huge this weekend. The numbers looking really good. And by the way, I'm glad that it's going to do good because, let's see, Backrooms was around since 2019, but it got more popular later on, and even more popular thanks to Kane. Yeah, like Backrooms started as like a 4chan thing or a Reddit thing or something like that. So, and then he made a viral kind of thing and took it to another level. the 10-minute video from Kane Pixels or whatever, his video is better than the movie. In my opinion, it's just go watch that. It's got like 80 million views on YouTube. And if you want my recommendation, first of all, I do think people should go out and support it if you're looking to support independent creators, because really happy that this YouTuber is now making movies along with the situation with Obsession. We saw Markiplier, really good stuff. But I think that the YouTube video, the 10-minute YouTube video for Backrooms is better than the movie. The story is where it just gets way too convoluted. It gets way too convoluted, and they're trying to, I don't know why you have to tell like this, try to get into this like story and character development. Like, we just want to have the mystery of the Backrooms. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I'll give you more opinions on that over on Criticalist when I do my review for that over there. But overall, it's not that great. Markiplier is a wokey himself. I don't know if Markiplier is woke. I don't really know much about Markiplier. However, I would imagine almost all of these people that are getting deals to make movies or making movies within Hollywood, I would imagine a lot of them are within that world for sure. But oh yeah, big time. Really? I mean, that doesn't surprise me, but I don't watch Markiplier, so I really don't know. 100% a lefty. He's just not super vocal. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Not at all. Let's see who's here in the chat. I saw Tree Bear says, "Hail Mega Man." Hope you got to see that one. Let me see which one you're talking about, Tree Bear. Let's see what Tree Bear's got. Look at that. Let's freaking go. With the Crocs, that's what's up. That's what's up. There you go. Thank you, Tree Bear. Let's see. Slade says Filoni Clone Wars sucks, Jeremy. Well, I think it's really what it comes down to, Slade, is you've been whining about my opinion on Filoni Clone Wars for a long time. I think the problem is you're not confident enough in your own opinion. So you need me, a YouTube megastar, to basically give you your opinion back so you can feel more confident about it. But the sad reality of that is that I'm not going to do that. I love the Clone Wars, and nothing is ever going to change that. Now, I can tell you what you want to hear to make you feel better, but you just need to get confident in your own opinions and not need a megastar YouTuber to have to make you feel good about it. Just be happy with your opinion and not worry about me having to confirm your opinion for you. That's all you got to do, man. That's all you got to do. Just be confident, okay? Be confident. This is probably why you haven't had sex yet with a woman. Show some confidence, all right? Let her know. Let her know. You don't need Jeremy's opinion to validate your own. You have your own opinion, okay? And you can't stand Filoni Clone Wars. And you don't need some megastar YouTuber to confirm that for you, okay? It'll work, I promise, all right? Alex Eric says, Trump forever and longer than that. Meta PC 199. Let's freaking go. Zioni says the problem with the war is that people would question the administration as they did, but they would believe and parrot Iranian government, almost treasonous. That's what they do. Hail to Tree Bear, by the way. That's what they do. Stormbreaker says all hail Cobra Commander Jeremy and King Trump. And Trump is my king and yours too. What's up, Stormbreaker? Good to see you, brother. Joe Bitt says, just saw Mando movie again, this time in 4DX. Well, I'm glad you like it, and I'm glad that it's working for you, buddy. I really am. I'm also want to congratulate you on potentially being the only person that went to see Mandalorian and Grogu today, because, oof. Remember when I said Star Wars is dead? Shocking turn of events as The Mandalorian and Grogu becomes the first Star Wars live-action debut to lose the top spot at the U.S. box office in less than a week in history. Holy shit. Mando grossed $4.2 million, the lowest first Wednesday for a Star Wars film under Disney. Oh, it's looking bad. It's looking bad. It's looking bad. Star Wars is dead. I'm glad you do like the movie. If you genuinely like the Mandalorian movie, I'm glad. I'm happy for you. I'm not here to tell you you're wrong. I'm just here to tell you that you're retarded. But I would never tell you you're wrong because you can have your opinion. And I would never say you're wrong. I would say you're retarded. But I'm happy that you liked it. CJ for Tid says, hail, Jeremy. Just saw JDA crying about Geeks Gamers again. Sorry you've had to deal with all these jealous, failed YouTubers over the years. Keep up the great work. Well, you don't have to, no big deal with that. Yeah, this clown, I just can't even find it time to respond. It's not even worth it. So, but yeah, I just did a laughing emoji on Twitter about it. And, what are you going to do? You just have to move forward. But Peter says, it will be fun for my body. I don't know what that means. I don't think I want to know what that means. John says, I don't have to sit for 2 hours. I'll stand. That'll show you. Grindo Jones says, speak more. Wait, let's see. Speak more, you lovely man, DK Cobra. I'm not sure what that means either. But I do know one thing. And listen, I take criticism very, very seriously. Okay? I take it very seriously. And there was a comment the other day on my CobraCast that really hit home. Because I know when I have failed. I know when I've failed, and I have failed, and it's time for me to address it. This is a very serious topic, and yeah, man, this is something that I want you all to know that I have listened, and I'm going to do better. Because somebody on my comments the other day, they had something interesting to say. This is Jeremy. You're in your 40s, your 50s, whatever he said. You have a family. It's time to stop gawking over Anna Paulina Luna, especially when she resembles a person that works for you. It's not a very good look, man. And I said, man, damn, I did home. I hit home, man. I was like, oh, that's you're waking me up to the reality here, man. Like I shouldn't be doing this. I have an image to protect, and I really care what some clearly homosexual man who doesn't like looking at attractive women thinks. That's what this guy was clearly. So that guy complaining about this gay man in my comment section complaining about me looking at Anna Paulina Luna and saying, I need to do better. So I've thought about it, and I've decided to share this video with all of you. You're welcome, chat. By the way, you're welcome. So, there you go, buddy. Whoever that guy was complaining, guess what? I don't give a fuck what you think. Your tears mean nothing to me. The chat is happy. And if someone loses respect for me because I like to look at attractive women on the internet, lose respect for me. Okay. Go watch Tim Pool. Okay. Go watch a better YouTuber, because I am not the YouTuber for you. Okay. Go watch Tim Pool. Very respectable show. Okay. He'll tell you how much he, how passionate he is about something, only to then 3 weeks later have a completely different opinion on that. So, Nandy450 says, well, lucky this guy doesn't show up to the G&G meetups. The simps in this chat do more than gawk. Listen, the internet, thank you, Nandy. The internet was made for a few things: making fun of people, memes, and looking at attractive women. That's what the internet's for. Okay? I mean, there's other things you can add to it, but those are the three most important things. Simple as that, okay? Making fun of people, memes, and looking at hot women. That's what the internet's for. Okay? So, you're welcome. CJ with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, CJ. Hail to you, brother. Beardo pre-ordered Starfield, says, play it again. I've already played it for free. I can't play it again for 20. We got a grift. Have you seen what that woman looks like? We got to get our money's worth out of that one, okay? We got to get our money's worth out of that one. Unlike you did with Starfield. Graptar's Hammer says, on a whim, I clicked on your channel, and sure enough, you're live. That majestic beast Trump needs to be on our currency, and the ox isn't bad either. Thank you, Graptar's Hammer. Appreciate it. But look, there is actually a lot going on today, and one of the biggest stories that's going on today is that the Trump White House is the greatest, okay? It's the greatest. So the White House posted this today. They walk among us. Aliens.gov. This was going crazy today, okay? People were losing their minds. They're like, it's really happening. It's really happening, guys. It's over. Wow. Oh my goodness. They've got a website and everything. Now, what have I told you about this? I have said, hey, look, I want to believe that aliens are real. I really do, but I don't. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong. But this sent everybody into a frenzy. Like, oh my gosh, it's really happening. It's really happening, guys. America right here. We are being invaded. Aliens.gov. Holy shit. And so I'm thinking, man, maybe something crazy is happening. Okay. We get this right here. Aliens declassified. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. They walk among us. For 60 years, the U.S. government has kept a closely guarded secret. Aliens have been walking among us, living in our neighborhoods. Holy shit. Interacting with us in our daily lives. They've shopped in the same stores, attended the same classes as our children, and lived seemingly normal human existences, with one exception. They do not belong here. Millions arrived under the cover of darkness and embedded themselves directly into our society. Countless presidents, congressmen, and senior officials knew exactly what was happening. Instead of protecting Americans, they chose to cover it up and even accelerate the invasion, until one man finally had the courage to tell the truth. Bold, unapologetic, unafraid. President Trump was the first to call out the real danger that the aliens pose every American family, every community, and the future of our nation. The truth is no longer out there. It is right here, right now. Holy shit. Trump is about to expose the true problem in the United States of America. New aliens.gov redirects now and takes you to a live interactive map of illegal immigrant arrest. And it seems the alien hype was meant to prelude the interface that tracks ICE's activities apprehending criminal illegal aliens. This is what I voted for. This is the greatest president in history. This only happens because of President Trump. This is amazing. He is the greatest troll of all time. It even has a map where the illegal aliens are. Look at that. And I got to say, Florida, Texas, and California, wow. I'll also say, as a resident of Florida, that's 100% accurate. That is 100% accurate. We have a serious problem in this state. And it's the only thing that I don't like about Florida. This basically is a map of telling you where you should move, because you can see where the wonderful areas that are left of this country are. And it certainly ain't Florida, Texas, or California, at least Southern California anyway. It's a damn mess. But like I said, so I'm kind of back and forth between Orlando and Pensacola right now. And there's it's weird, man, because, on one hand, hang on a minute. What is this for? Okay. On one hand, I have a lot of love for Orlando, but it's primarily because of the theme parks. If the theme parks weren't here, there's literally no reason to be in Orlando, because it is the definition of a melting pot. You go back now, when I go back to Pensacola, completely different feel and vibe. You go into a Walmart in Orlando, it feels like you're going into Mexico or, something like that. I hate it. I hate it here from that perspective. But yeah, so Trump administration clearly knows where the issues are. Hopefully they can seriously get involved with this shit, because yeah, the memes are funny and the roasting is funny and the trolling is funny. I'd like to actually see some results. And I know that that's easier said than done, but that's exactly what I would like to see. Jeeping Baylor says, right. Somebody said alien. She thought they said illegal alien and signed up. If you know, you know. Hail to you, Jeeping Baylor. Good shit. Thank you for the 50 as always. Slade, who also became a member for 20, says, is that $250 bill real? If not, it should be just for memes. I've played hockey for 15 of my 24 years of life. That was one of the better roasts I've heard on and off the ice. Well done. Also, the N64 is 20 years old man. First of all, this is how you know you're dealing with a actual dude right here, like a man's man, because dudes appreciate the roasts. And Slade, I'm sitting here roasting him, and now because he compliments my roast, all I can do is be like, man, you're cool as shit. Maybe Filoni's Clone Wars does suck. Maybe Filoni Clone Wars does suck. He's won me over now. Now I'm willing to say it. Maybe it is. Maybe it's terrible. But thank you, Slade. I appreciate it, brother. Perfect response from you. Thank you so much, man. That is a very, very high compliment. He also did become a new member, so thank you so much. And so the N64, though, well, that's like 96, right? So it's got to be older than 20. Yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, 30 years old. So it's 30 years old. Jeez. Don't remind me. Let's see here. And looking at this. Okay, there's so much going on right now. But thank you for the support. I appreciate it. And this is the best troll that Trump has done since yesterday. Finally, retro game talk, says Dan Vask. So Trump with another awesome troll because he is the king troll, the greatest of all time. Nobody is even close. So that was awesome. I did see this one right here. The government opens aliens.gov. It's just Mexicans. Like, damn it. There were a lot of people that got worked over this, though. They were like, oh, man, this is it. I stand by what I said. I wish that the alien stuff was real, and I hope that it is, but I just don't believe it myself. Just don't, man. Maybe one day. Hey, check this out. I saw this clip right here. This is a beautiful thing to look at. So obviously we're we're a little bit past the Thomas Massey situation. And I keep being told by podcast bros that MAGA is dead, that MAGA is done, and that Trump has no more influence whatsoever. I'm being told that over and over again. I'm being told that Candace Owens has the power, Jeremy. I'm being told that Dave Smith has the power, Jeremy. Nick Fuentes has the power, Jeremy. Alex Jones has the power. Trump doesn't have the power anymore. Well, let's look at this little clip right here.
Because I think Thomas Massey's going to win. I think it's close, but I think he's going to pull this off.
You can't primary every Thomas Massey, and there's a whole army of them coming at some point because everyone can see what's going on.
Striking down Massey, if they're successful, which I don't think they will be because the grassroots surge is so huge, it's like killing Obi-Wan Kenobi in front of Luke Skywalker. How did that work out?
Well, I like Thomas Massey. It's a no-brainer to support him in the primary, and just in general, because it's symbolic.
I've known very few honest members of Congress. I've known a couple, however. One of them just left Congress, and the other is being primaried.
MTG, you're talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Exactly. And Thomas Massey from Kentucky.
If it proves that Trump has an iron grip when Massey falls out, what about when Thomas Massey wins?
Massey in the primary.
Ooh. You might want to rethink that one, buddy, considering he got destroyed.
Not only because I think it's unfair to Massey, who's a principled politician, a unicorn, really, when you think about it.
Happy Tuesday. We all have our fingers crossed for Thomas Massey down in Kentucky.
Thomas Massey is not bought and paid for. So I can.
A lot of people tell me that they love him.
Thomas Massey's great.
Should we vote for Thomas Massey? I always say yes. Always.
I hope Thomas Massey runs for president. I think, by the way, they're doing a big money bomb for Thomas Massey on March 30th. And I think him winning re-election in Congress is like...
You would think with all these powerful podcasters on his side, you would think that there's no way he could lose, right? You would think that, man, he's got all of the support of these powerful podcasters. You would think that there's no chance that he could lose, right?
Like the most important political election in the country right now.
Thomas Massey is the winner. You heard it here first.
Let's hear from the man himself. Thomas, take it away.
Do you want a United States Congress without Thomas Massey?
And we hear that this hoodie really upsets you guys, so if you don't mind, I might throw it on for another pick.
From what I would consider to be the true America First, former MAGA base, I guess, supporting Thomas Massey. Because
I was very angered over the last couple of days seeing the smears on his character.
Let's go, Thomas Massey.
I think Thomas Massey's going to win. I think it's close, but I think he's going to pull this off.
And of course, we did react to Michael Knowles' video the other day talking about this.
The Thomas Massey primary campaign before the election on Tuesday, in which Dave Smith was taking some issue with my political analysis and my predictions. He was sitting with the reactionary commentator, Nick Fuentes, and Dave said that he was really eager to see what my reaction would be if my prediction turned out to be incorrect.
Then the betting markets start like changing. Clearly, people are putting money in and influencing this. So Michael Knowles over at the Daily Wire, who I don't dislike Michael Knowles, but his take on this was he goes, man, if Thomas Massey loses, this just shows the iron grip that Donald Trump has on the Republican Party.
Oh, brother.
And you're like, dude, I mean, I think it shows the iron grip that the Israel lobby has. If they're like that might be a slightly more accurate take. But then I also go, and I'll be interested because I think Thomas Massey's going to win.
On one hand, Thomas Massey's going to win. On the other hand, if he doesn't win, it's because Israel controls everything. Well, if Israel controls everything, why do you think he has a chance to win in the first place? Wouldn't you just know that he can't win because Israel controls everything? But you predicted he's going to win. But then when he doesn't win, you say it's because Israel controls everything.
I think it's close, but I think he's going to pull this off. I wonder what Michael Knowles' reaction to that will be. So if it proves that Trump has an iron grip when Massey falls down, what about when Thomas Massey wins and survives $20 million being pumped into his district? What would that suggest?
I wonder what Michael Knowles, what his reaction will be when his prediction proves incorrect. You see Nick Fuentes there. He says, oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I wonder what my reaction would have been had I been wrong. I guess we'll never know.
This is awesome. That's a perfect response.
Because my prediction was totally correct. Right now, go to ground.news/Knowles.
Can we get Michael Knowles to run the Daily Wire? Can we get that? Like, seriously, Michael Knowles running the Daily Wire. I like that.
Here, Dave says, he goes, look, I think it's going to be close. It wasn't even close. It wasn't close. It was a 9-point swing. So that was the first bit. I found that very delightful. And I appreciate that Dave says, he goes, look, I don't dislike Michael Knowles. And I feel exactly the same way. Actually, I want to get Dave on one of the bar fight shows because he'd be a good figure for the show.
It's kind of crazy that, like, from my perspective, and again, this is just my outside perspective, I always viewed Michael Knowles as one of the most irrelevant members of the Daily Wire. You know, when they were at the height, with Little Ben and Jordan Peterson and Candace Owens and Matt Walsh and all of that. And it looks like he was always the most level-headed guy the whole time.
I would be the conservative. Dave is a libertarian. Then we get some left-winger. I think that's a pretty good lineup because everybody could kind of disagree, but sometimes would agree with each other. So anyway, I'm grateful for Dave's statement there, and I look forward to seeing him on a bar fight show or something. But what about the first part where you say, okay, well, maybe Michael was totally right in his prediction.
And this is all before what happened in Texas, by the way, too, where we've learned how powerful Donald Trump actually is. And everybody already knew this if you were paying attention. Trump has always had this power, and he will continue to have this power. And nothing's going to change that anytime soon.
Maybe Dave was wrong in his prediction. But Dave and Nick Fuentes both take issue with my analysis. My analysis was, part of my prediction, I said was, if Massey goes down, this will be evidence that Trump has an ironclad grip on the Republican Party. And the two of them, they say, oh, brother, here we go. No, it doesn't show. That's not what it will chiefly show. What it's going to show is that the pro-Israel lobby has an ironclad grip on the Republican Party. That will be the chief takeaway.
Now, Knowles does a great job of breaking this ridiculousness down. And this is why I continue to not even stand against this narrative, because I don't think this narrative is worth standing against. I think this narrative is worth laughing at and memeing on because it's such a ridiculous take, not from Knowles, obviously, from the anti-Israel people. It's so ridiculous that it's not worth actually taking seriously. Incoherent name for 50 says libertarians were never MAGA. This is true. They latched onto the movement because they are politically invalid. It pisses me off when they say they're true or OG MAGA. Don't fall for the gaslighting. 100%. That is true. And I mean, a lot of people, it is what it is. Listen, man, bandwagoning is part of life. When, growing up, my first favorite team in all of baseball was the Atlanta Braves. Dale Murphy and Bob Horner were my favorite players. By the way, Bob Horner just passed away. R.I.P. to the great Bob Horner. Can't believe that. That dude was awesome. But the Braves were terrible back then. When I was growing up, the Braves were terrible. Nobody cared about the Braves. And then they started winning. And everybody became a fucking Braves fan. And I'm like, where the fuck were all of you at? Then nobody talked about the Braves. Suddenly the Braves started winning and everybody became a Braves fan. And I'm like, God, I just rejected the Braves at that point. Like, I don't even want anything to do with this shit. I brought up Bob Horner because of his passing. What a badass. Okay. So this hit my feed because when he passed away, I got to show this. I know it's off topic, but right here. All right. The ultimate Bob Horner moment as Atlanta Braves during an epic Braves San Diego Padres brawl in 1984. All right. Check this out. Champ Summers ran to the dugout trying to get to Pascal Perez. And, well, he met one Bob Horner, who was injured, by the way, who would not let him pass. So this is about halfway through the fight, okay? Back in the day when baseball was badass. Look at this shit. All right, watch this.
Summers went after Pascual Perez. While all the other players congregated out in the middle of the infield.
Watch this. Watch this.
Directly for the Braves dugout. He was held back by somebody. Here he goes. Summers charging after Perez. Bob Horner has come out.
Look at my boy Bob Horner like, no, you shall not pass. Look at him. This is awesome, man. This is badass.
We've got some fans involved now. Oh, my.
Let's go. That's my baseball right there.
This one is very close to getting totally out of control. A couple of fans have come down.
He had a fan throw a drink at him. Look at this guy right here. Watch this shit. All right, hang on. Here we go.
Come out. We've got some fans.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Oh, man. Anyway, I'm way off topic. But RIP to Bob Horner. But my point being is that, yes, with the Trump MAGA movement, after Butler, everybody jumped on the bandwagon. Everybody. And it got really almost impossible to tell who was who anymore, because whether it was Joe Rogan and Elon Musk and everybody else, like Theo Vaughn, like everybody jumped on the MAGA bandwagon. And it didn't take them long to jump right off of it. As soon as it got just a little bit tough, they all jumped off that bandwagon because they were scared to death. Pathetic losers.
Massey goes down. But I don't think Massey's going to go down. Yeah, no, I don't think he's going to go down. No, he'll win. It'll be close, whatever. Okay. So I want to point out, I was also completely correct in my political analysis of the broader context here. And let's be totally clear about it. I am not denying in the least that pro-Israel donors wanted to take Massey out. I'm not denying that at all. It's a little complicated because Massey's biggest individual backer was ardently pro-Israel. That's a slight confounding factor, but it's true. AIPAC wanted to take Massey out. The pro-Israel donors really wanted to take Massey out. But that was not the chief takeaway. And my proof of this is all of the other races, all of the other primaries that Trump intervened in. You can say the Israel issue was a big factor in the Massey race. How do you explain Brad Raffensperger in Georgia?
Mm-hmm.
Israel didn't play a single role in that election. That primary race was about Raffensperger's reaction to the 2020 presidential election.
Correct.
How do you explain Bill?
Y'all remember that? Trump's taken out all the people that turned on him. This is what he does. Now, we live in this real-time world where people don't appreciate what's happening in the moment. They never have and they never will. That's just the unfortunate circumstances, and that's how it's always going to be. Like right now, we saw this just in this past week. We saw obviously the unfortunate and terrible passing of Kyle Busch. Now, Kyle Busch was one of the greatest NASCAR drivers of all time, and he was that even when he was alive. No one appreciated Kyle Busch when he was here. When I say no one, I'm just saying like the greater scope of it. Kyle Busch was not appreciated while he was here on Earth. But the moment that he suddenly passed, you saw everyone go crazy about how great Kyle was and how legendary he was and how amazing he was and how much he meant to this and meant to that and all of that. He was always this good. The dude could drive the wheels off a car. I was a huge Kyle Busch fan. But no one appreciated him, generally speaking, until he passed away. And we have Trump, who's literally doing what he said he was going to do. And yet, because we can nitpick every other moment along the way, people are just reacting to this and reacting to that and reacting to this. It's the same thing with, again, we saw with Charlie Kirk. Everybody just went. Now, I think the Charlie Kirk thing is understandable. Like, if Charlie Kirk would have, I hate to bring like hypotheticals up, but like if Charlie Kirk would have been in a car accident, you know, that was not on camera, it would have been terrible. It would have been sad. It would have been tragic. He would have been memorialized, all of that. But what happened to him, how he died, where he died, that question he was answering, the person that was asking him the question, the level of hatred that the left has for him, all of those circumstances made Charlie Kirk's death one of the most horrific and prominent deaths we have ever seen in our lifetime. And so, you know, I understand that, but it's everybody obviously, you know, even me, I didn't think about Charlie Kirk when he was here, but obviously I looked at all this stuff that he said after the fact, and I'm like, God, he was a really great guy. But so we're all guilty of it.
Cassidy's Senate primary. Bill Cassidy's Senate primary had nothing whatsoever to do with Israel. He just irritated Trump by turning against him on the issue of impeachment. How do you explain the 5 Indiana state legislators who went down in their primary campaigns in all the races that Trump intervened in? That issue wasn't about Israel. That was about redistricting, because they turned on Trump on redistricting. My point is not that the pro-Israel donors didn't want to take Massey out. My point is that the chief takeaway of Massey going down alongside Raffensperger and Cassidy and the Indiana legislature all at the same time is that the only common thread there, it wasn't Israel, it wasn't the 2020 election, it wasn't impeachment, it wasn't redistricting. Those were individual issues. The only common thread to them all going down at the same time
is who? What's the common denominator?
Is that Trump turned on them and told voters not to vote for them. And so if we're trying to find the common thread, the chief cause of their going down, the only conclusion that we can draw is that it was Trump having an ironclad grip on the Republican Party, despite the predictions and prognostications of podcasters who keep being proven wrong. That's my point. I'll go even further in the Massey race. There are a number of Republican congressmen who don't like Israel, who have voted to defund Israel, who are still in their seats. I'm sure AIPAC would love to take them out too. The deciding factor is Trump hadn't turned on them. That's where I get my political observation from. I'd go even further. The last point I'll make on Massey is, had Massey played nicely with Trump, had Massey voted for the big, beautiful bill, had Massey not started palling around with Ro Khanna, an unctuous Democrat, Trump very likely would not have turned on him. And even if you had the pro-Israel donors trying to take him out, my point is that wouldn't have mattered, because the decisive...
Absolute, dude, this is a classic victim narrative, okay? I'm going to bring something up that I've never talked about on this channel, a retail story, okay? Let's bring up a retail story. So let's just say I'm a department manager. Let's say I'm working in one of the departments and I'm a manager, okay? Produce. I worked in the produce department a long time ago, okay? So I'm working in the produce department and I'm doing a great job. But my store manager keeps asking me to do things and I go, fuck you. Fuck off to my boss. And I keep telling my boss to fuck off. Okay? Just keep saying, hey, boss, go fuck yourself. You know what's going to happen? Eventually, I'm going to get fired. Doesn't matter how good I am at my job. It doesn't matter how effective I am. It doesn't matter how much my employees might like me. If I keep telling my boss to go fuck himself, eventually I'm going to get fired. Thomas Massey kept telling Trump to go fuck himself, and he did it way too many times, and Trump dropped the hammer on him. It's as simple as that. You can play the fake victim if you want, but he did this to himself. These are the results of his decisions. He did that. Now, has anybody ever worked a job and they had a boss they didn't like? Raise your hand, and I'm sure everybody's going to raise their hand. What do you do when you have a job, but you don't like your boss? You deal with it. Okay? Simple as that. You deal with it. Until you can find another job or whatever, you deal with it. So I'm not saying Thomas Massie has to like Trump. I'm not saying that he has to do everything, but he needs to do whatever Trump wants him to do to keep Trump happy, because Trump is the boss. And he didn't do that. And Thomas Massie thinks that Thomas Massie is more important than Donald Trump. That's ultimately the biggest problem right now, is Thomas Massie thinks that he is more important than Donald Trump. And he found out the hard way that that is just not true in any capacity whatsoever.
Factor was Trump. Now, once again, as I pointed this out in the Massie race, you can say it's good that Massie opposed the GOP. You can say it's good that
Jeremy doesn't make content. He uses others. Yes, just like I used your comment to get super chats. You are 100% right. So I'm using others to make content, but now I'm using your comment to make money. Okay? So there you have it. Got you again. I can't tell if that's you like pretending that you got me because you got called out. I can't tell. And because I can't tell, okay, now it seems like, okay, there's no way that you could have said that without being legit. So you are legit. So you did get me 10 fucking gifted memberships. Fuck. Hang on. All right, he got me. He got me. He got me. Hang on. Yeah, he got me. There's no way like an actual hater would have been like 1 point for me. They're not. My haters aren't that smart. So there's no way they're that smart. Impossible. Nobody in the nobody in the Kick or Rumble chat has trolled me yet. Okay, you got to troll me over there. You want gifties over there? You got to troll me. All right. There it is right there. All right. Boom. Well done. Well done. Let me get into some of these super chats real quick. Frieza Max says known scumbag tax. Let's freaking go. Elaine says Amy Kozak's video today on Tucker is the best thing ever. It was priceless. I didn't even know we had a new one up. So now we're going to watch that. There you go. All right. Thank you for that $20 to let me know about that. I had no idea. The 1A train says, what's up, everybody? Hope all is well. I just got here. In 10 words or less, what did I miss? Just don't say Hassan is a retard and commies suck. I know that already. You missed a very, very educational video with Anna Paulina Luna. That's pretty much what you missed right there. It was educational. That's the only reason we played it, for educational purposes. Steven says, admiration of the General 199 Fig and all my fellow chat member tax. Thank you so much, Steven. Appreciate that. And I saw Doc Hollywood. What up, Doc Hollywood in the house? How you doing, brother? For research. That's right, Lady Aaron D. Scottish Badger with a gifted membership. Thank you. Appreciate that. Aaron Adams says, I'm confident to say the war is not going good. I mean, there's a lot of different variables. So to say like if it's going good or not, it's clearly not going good for Iran. I do think that Trump might have underestimated a bit, but his comments the other day kind of tell you he kind of knows exactly what's going on, because this was what Trump's comments were right here, which is the best thing he has said up to this point.
Iran is very much intent. They want very much to make a deal. So far, they haven't gotten there. We're not satisfied with it, but we will be. We will be either that or we'll have to just finish the job. But their Navy is gone, as I've said 1,000 times. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Everything's gone. And they're negotiating on fumes. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we have to go back and finish it. Maybe we don't. Right now, I mean, you can speak to Steve Witkoff and Jared. They're doing a good job. But right now, I think it looks like they want to just make a deal. They want to. They have. I don't think they have a choice. They're just going back to the internet because they're getting clobbered. Their economy is in free fall. They have 250% inflation. Their money has no value. Their whole economic system is broken down. They thought they were going to outweight me. You know, we'll outweight him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms. Look what happened last night. That was the prelude to the midterms. People understand it. They know that. Very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I'm doing that.
That's the best thing he has said up to this point. Now, a lot of these clowns are going to take that one comment out of context. That comment is the best thing Trump has said since this Iran thing has started. That tells me he is fully confident that everything is going to be just fine.
Their economy is in free fall. They have 250% inflation. Their money has no value. Their whole economic system is broken down. They thought they were going to outweight me. You know, we'll outweight him. He's got the midterms. I don't care about the midterms. Look what happened last night. That was the prelude to the midterms. People understand it. They know that. Very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I'm doing that for the world. I'm not doing it just for us.
So there you have it right there. Well said from President Trump. Perfectly said. Let's finish off this video from Michael Knowles.
Massey opposed Trump. You can say you like Massey more than Trump or the Republicans. You can say any of those things. I'm not. You can say you want to be a libertarian instead of a conservative. I'm not making any comment on that. In this context, all I'm saying is, if you want to understand what's going on in politics, and if you want to be able to be more likely to make accurate political predictions, you have to understand the underlying structures, how party politics actually works. And the fact that you know how much I hate to say I told you so, but the fact that my observations and predictions have this habit of being proven correct. None of us is omniscient, but the fact that there is pattern recognition here and they do keep playing out in reality, that would seem to suggest that analysis on what's going on in politics is the more accurate one. And I hate to say I told you so, but who knows? Maybe David, very nice comments there. Maybe we can hash it out in a bar fight. I hope in the future. Okay.
So now Michael Knowles also had some interesting comments. He was on with Sage Steele. And I want to break this down because it's very interesting what he says. And he says that the 2028 Republican nominee is already decided. Here's his case. So we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. We got John freaking Murdoch 450. Says, hey, Jeremy, I've been watching Ryan's vlogs while he's in Japan. It's so weird seeing him happy. I guess he's high on Japan. I watched the first couple and I had to stop watching them. I had to stop watching them because I'm very uncomfortable seeing Ryan happy. It bothers me. Hashtag not my Ryan. Like, that is not the Ryan Kennel that I know. I don't like it. It bothers me. But all I know is that I'm very confident that when he returns, to the U.S., and he gets off that plane and he goes to his local Walmart and he is standing behind Shaniqua with her 5 screaming babies with no dad in sight, Ryan will return. Ryan will return to us, in that moment. And not only will he return to us, he will return even more angry than ever. So this is what I'm holding on hope for right there. So we'll see what happens. All right, here we go.
Had to today.
Yes.
Make a decision. Yeah. You're part of the world that can say, yep, this is what exactly needs to happen for the party. Who is on the Republican ticket for the 2028 presidential election?
Vance is the heir apparent, full stop. I know that there's going to be all this kind of fighting. First of all, if you look at the polling right now, Vance is clear and away the favorite. The majority of Republican voters already say he's the guy. I think there's been a big operation underway to try to pit people against him, to try to create division in the administration. It's ridiculous. Rubio has already endorsed him. Rubio is the most papabile, not papabile, but the most, viable presidential candidate in the admin. His poll numbers are still much lower than Vance, and it doesn't matter anyway. He's already endorsed Vance. The president has already endorsed them as a ticket in a variety of ways, sometimes stronger and sometimes more softly, but he's done it repeatedly. And so I think there's substantial unity within the administration. I personally am a big admirer of Vance. But even if I weren't, he's clearly the guy. Just look at the numbers. He's
So I agree with what he's saying generally here. The bottom line, though, is that really, I hate to say the way I'm going to say this, but JD Vance is only as good as Trump's opinion of him is. So if Trump, for whatever reason, gets angry with Vance, he can destroy Vance literally with one comment. Trump can just destroy him. And that's the power of Trump. He literally is the kingmaker.
the guy right now. Now, the danger for that is that a ticket like that rises or falls on the strength of the administration.
That is true.
Being the air-
That is true, Adam. That's true. That's everyone, though, Jeremy. You are correct. But that's the bigger point that I think needs to be discussed here is that the 2028 nominee for the Republican Party is whoever Donald Trump decides. That's the answer. Now, right now, it does seem like J.D. Vance is the person that's in the control of that. But that is who the nominee is, whoever Donald Trump decides.
Parent in this bizarre non-consecutive second term. The minute Trump picked him, he was essentially saying this is going to be the guy for 2028. So obviously the vice president has a lot at stake here for how the administration continues to perform, whether we're talking about the economy, we're talking about Iran, anything else. But I think it's him. Now, Vance Rubio ticket is what the president has floated. That could be very strong. There are other Republicans. I mean, Rand Paul has said he's going to run because we always need the one libertarian, usually a Paul, to run. And that could be interesting for the primary. There was an Axios report that Senator Cruz might run. I'm a good buddy of Ted Cruz. I love the guy. But, you know, probably a senator versus an administration, especially if it's a popular administration with a presidential seal of approval, that's going to be a big uphill battle. Governor DeSantis, you know, he's someone who is a governor, so he's outside of Capitol Hill. He's outside of the administration.
Yeah.
He might have burned his fuel on that 20.
DeSantis, I love DeSantis as a governor. And in a world where Trump is not in any capacity like to have any influence, DeSantis may have some relevancy on the national stage. But as long as Donald Trump is around, I don't think DeSantis has a chance. Even though they get along now, I don't think he has a chance.
Like it?
It kind of feels like he's a very talented guy.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But, you know, people, they're talking about this like it's a real horse race. And I say, guys, look at the numbers. Look at the unity of the administration. They've essentially picked Vance. And if that continues to hold, I think that is also a very good thing because he's very intelligent. He's very well educated on the issues. I think he's pretty close to the base and to the avant-garde. So that could be a really great ticket. Am I being too simplistic about this?
So I don't think you're being too simplistic as much as you're just leaving out the main piece of the puzzle. And it's whoever Trump decides. Mark of Reality says the Iran war is going fine. It's operating exactly as planned. I hate these chicken hawks who make all these idiotic comments, but it's 180 degrees away from reality if you wait a few weeks and look back. I mean, yeah, I think that it's just a sign of the times, though. And I can't blame anybody for being caught up in the sign of that's caught up in the times, because I am too. I try to have as much perspective as I possibly can. but I still order shit off Amazon. I still, do all the easy things. I even like, I was like not somebody that likes to order movie tickets off an app. I like to go to the movie theater and buy my tickets because I'm old school like that. Like everything in this world has changed. So the 24-hour news cycle, which is something that we used to talk about with cable news, because when I was growing up, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, we didn't have 24-hour news. And then somewhere along the way, we got the 24-hour news cable TV. So that was a game changer. But it was still relatively streamlined in terms of the information we were getting. Now with the internet, with YouTube, with Rumble, with Twitter, with Facebook and Instagram, there's not a single moment in the day that we're not getting information. It's just constant. So you're reacting to every single bit of information. So it would be like, it's the difference in if you're a sports fan and you're not able to watch a game for whatever reason, but you hear the end result and you're either happy or sad. Or you're a sports fan and you actually watch the game. And if you actually watch the game and you have a non-sports fan that's watching the game with you, that non-sports fan is going to think that you hate your team. Because as a sports fan, all we do is bitch about our team all through the game. Even though we love our team, even though we love our, players and, coaches, all we do is bitch about our favorite team all through the game. So that non-sports fan is going, you say this is your team, but all you do is call them names and complain about them and tell them to get the hell off the field and say that they suck. But at the end of the game, you're like, good game, boys. I knew you guys would pull through. I appreciate you guys. You're like, the whole time you did nothing. That's what we do as people that are following politics now. We're literally just watching every detail of everything and we're reacting in real time. Have some perspective to understand that once we get on the other side of it, we're probably going to look at things a lot differently. But it doesn't change that when we're in the trenches and in the moment, we're going to react like that. So Jeremy's describing CobraCast as laughing, man. So that is interesting perspective for us to have. Ron listened to his consultants. He listened to a lot of people, the wrong people. Where's my Zootopia 3? Says that Breaking Blue Origin rocket just blew up on launch pad. Poor Jeff Bezos. Really? I didn't even see that on my timeline. That's crazy. Not Jeremy Hambley says, I joined Quartering's Inner Circle for only $60 USD. Now, wait a minute. What if I joined Quartering's Inner Circle for only $60 USD, and now my hog's too fat for my shorts, and I'm leaving ropes on my mattress that take days to dry. True. That's just funny. Dude, when the A-loggers are after you, like there's nothing you could do. Like I saw this clip today of the Quartering. I was fucking dead. Yellow Flash tweeted this out. Amazing content. And I was like, okay, what is this? I had to watch it. Like, this is 1 minute long. Okay. Here we go.
So this weekend's coming up. What do you guys got going on this weekend? I always like to talk to Chad a little bit, see what's going on with you guys. Right now, I'm just setting up some folders to upload segments from the show. And this weekend, I will be cleaning the basement. Wahoo. 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 That's my plan.
57 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 57 seconds. That is incredible. I don't even understand how you do that. Like, that takes, honestly, I give him credit. It takes some skill, okay? It takes some skill to do that. It also takes skill to have 1,200 people watching your stream. Pretty incredible stuff. 1,200 people watches his Rumble stream. Even when he's not there, 1,200 people are still watching on Rumble. Even when he's not there. Makes you wonder, are there really 1,200 people there? If, like, he leaves and he was supposed to end his stream, but the numbers don't drop? Nobody left? Look at that number. 1,250 people. Chat moving slow. Throws up a random Rumble wallet ad read. That's interesting. I don't know. But either way, hope you guys had a good weekend. Hail to Yellow Flash. Nas says, would Selma Hayek be more age appropriate? I don't think, well, I would say I don't think anybody would complain about Selma Hayek, but there's probably going to be somebody. They're like, I can't believe that you're objectifying women, Jeremy. But I don't think anybody's going to complain if we show some Selma Hayek clips, okay? Doc Hollywood says APL is what I voted for. You and me both, brother. East Coast Toaster Boy says, it's all AI and fake, paid for by Mossad shekels. Not Jeremy Hamley says, I'm eating microplastics 24/7. I'm still hungry. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Shannon Miller says, longtime watcher, first time super chat. Just wanted to let you know how easy on the eyes you are, big guy. Hail 199.
I was not ready for that. I was not ready for that. What just happened?
Graptar's Hammer says, how amazing would traffic be without illegal aliens on the road, not to mention uninsured driver insurance? Ryan would have to scream about other stuff. Not Jeremy Hamley says, if I got foreign ID'd, I'd still have 10 to spare. Hashtag I'm big. Miniature Ron Thing says, Markiplier isn't a lefty, he's a normie. I once asked Google what controversies Markiplier has been in, and all it said was he defended PewDiePie. That is fucking hilarious. So according to Google, the most controversial thing that Markiplier has ever done was defended PewDiePie. I've never really heard anything bad about Markiplier. So I mean, I don't know. The best thing I can say about someone is that I don't know their politics. And I don't know Markiplier's politics at all. I have no idea. Shout out to the Bridge Army, though. We love the Bridge Army. He didn't know it was gay for $1. Jack, son of Jack, becomes a new member. Thank you. East Coast Toasted Boy says, it was getting bad in Orlando when I moved out back in 2011. Can't imagine how bad it is now. It's sad to see what the city I grew up has become. It's really bad. It's really fucking bad here, man. JDT199 says, wahoo. Thank you. Piano Dean says, you always hear people complaining when their zippers are broken, but do you ever hear anyone thanking their zippers when they work? Well, if you've spent longer than 5 minutes with me, you would have. Look at that. I respect that. Thank you, Piano Dean. Magnum Norse for 50 says Selma Hayek has confirmed that she will be starring in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button 2 Jubilees. Jubilees? I said Jubilees. Selma Hayek, like, how old is she now? How old is she? Isn't she like, is she in her mid 50s, something like that? Hang on, I gotta look this up. She is 59 years old. 59. Oh my God. Hang on. Let's see here. Wait, we need a clearer picture. There's video. There's no way there's video of this. Is there video of this? Hang on. Here we go.
Actress, producer, and activist who has made significant contributions to the entertainment industry. Here are some key facts and highlights about her career. Early life. Salma Hayek was born on September 2nd, 1966, in Coatzacoalcos, Veracruz, Mexico. She was raised in a well-to-do Mexican family. Breakthrough role. Her breakout role in Hollywood came with the film Desperado in 1995, in which she starred opposite Antonio Banderas. This film helped establish her as a prominent actress in the industry. Academy Award nomination. Hayek received critical acclaim for her performance in the 2002 film Frida, in which she portrayed the famous Mexican painter Frida Kahlo. She earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress for the role. In addition to her work in the entertainment industry, Hayek is involved in various philanthropic endeavors. She's a supporter of organizations focusing on women's rights, children's health, and violence against women. Personal life. Salma Hayek married Francois.
I'm whatever cause she's supporting, I will support it. I don't care. I will support it.
Tina. Salma Hayek is celebrated not only for her talent as an actress, but also for her commitment to promoting diversity and advocating for important social.
I support diversity, women's rights, whatever cause she wants to support. I'm all there for it. So, there you go, Magnum Norse. Because of you, the chat experienced that wonderful video. You got to thank Magnum Norse for that one, not me. I had nothing to do with it. Taker says Trump just trolled Forbidden Frontier hard. Yes, he did. Again, man, with the alien thing, like I truly do wish it was real. I really do. But I've said this many times. Like, if there's anybody that I would, think would be telling us about that, it would be Elon Musk.
When you say, what are the aliens?
Where are the aliens? Like, why don't we see them? A lot of people think we see aliens, but I've not seen any evidence of aliens. We've got 6,000 satellites in orbit, and not once have we had to maneuver around an alien spacecraft.
Right. But on this Earth, the U.S. military has had to do a lot of maneuvering around objects they can't explain.
There's always a bunch of classified programs that are underway of new aircraft and new missiles and things, so that are classified even within the military. So it's only if you have the top secret compartmented clearance would you know about this new program. So then some pilot sees something moving fast and says, "Hey, I saw a UFO." I'm like, "Yeah, that was actually a new weapons program, but we can tell you that." The split second I see any evidence of aliens, I will immediately post that on the X platform, and it'll probably be our #1 post of all time.
That'll be your biggest day.
Yes.
Someone said he looked away when he said that. I'm not sure if you're new to Elon Musk, but Elon Musk is a weird dude, and he's always looking in all different directions because he's a very socially awkward person. So him looking in a different direction when he's talking, that ain't proof of nothing. I just do not think that there's any, alien life out there. I think there's illegal alien life, which is what the White House is focusing in on. Hope I'm wrong, but as I think the saying goes is like, what's more terrifying, that we are completely alone in the universe or that there are aliens in the universe? What's more terrifying? That's the balancing act you have to have. What's more terrifying? And I think it's more terrifying that there would be aliens. I think that's the scarier prospect. I think I would be more scared if we were to confirm that there were aliens in the universe, because the Bible doesn't speak about that. And here we are all of this time later, and it continues to be, consistent with, what we've heard in the Bible. Welcome to Earth. Welcome to Earth. Demons, yes, but we're talking about Will Smith aliens, something like that. Let's see here. Earth. Yeah, welcome to Earth. Your Barmy says unicorn. I don't know what that's in reference to. Will Smith aliens. Yeah, okay. So again, I forget how old I am sometimes. That's a reference to Independence Day, the movie with Will Smith, which is, for me, Independence Day might be the first massive blockbuster movie that I remember waiting in line for. I think it was the first one that actually stood in line, a long line at a movie theater to wait for it. Anticipation for Independence Day was crazy. It was so cool, man. South Perspective says, this is so cringe. I don't know if you were talking about something I was reacting to, or is this just a general statement about my stream? Both are fine. I completely would understand if this is you're talking about my stream. But I just don't know for sure. But if I was a betting man, I would say you're probably talking about me, which checks out. That lines up perfectly. Kev the Cobbler says that, yeah, I've been watching Ryan's Japan vlogs, and my wife says he looks just like you. He could be your brother. Other than the receding hairline, what the F do I do with that? Not sure what to do with that, brother. That's a tough one right there. I'm not sure what you do with that one. I'm gonna have to let chat. Talk about that. So, chat, what do you think? What do you think? MH60 says that check DMs for Blue Origin explosion. I think I just saw that on my timeline right here. At least is this it right here? 11 minutes ago, insane footage filmed from a nearby restaurant shows tonight's explosion. So it's a nearby restaurant. Whoa.
No, I don't think that's a rocket launch.
That is crazy. Honestly, so I hate to make light of I'm not trying to make light of a situation like that, because this is very dangerous. It's very scary. I'll just say this, okay? I think everybody knows I'm a fan of Christopher Nolan, and I thought Oppenheimer was a phenomenal movie. However, my one issue with Oppenheimer, the movie, was that I thought the explosion was completely underwhelming, because Nolan did a real explosion. He didn't use CG and all of that. This looks better than the explosion in Oppenheimer. This looks significantly better and more realistic.
No, I don't think that's a rocket launch.
Well, no, I get it. That is real. But so what? Israel. But so was the explosion in Oppenheimer. But the fact that he should have just made it, he should have used some CG, Oh, look at this. What's this? Watch fist fly at a graduation. Oh, shit. I can't play that. I can't. Wait a minute. Hold up. There's a lot wrong with this picture, okay? There's a lot wrong with this, okay? Graduation? Graduation? What do you mean graduation? You sure this isn't like a rap concert or something like that? Graduation? What? I can't play it, or YouTube will probably hit me for violence or something like that. So I have to be careful from that. Yeah, graduation. What are you talking about? I'm seeing if we've got any more explosions. We'll see. I'm looking for videos. Did you say you DM'd me one? Oh, by the way, I've seen this one going viral. Actually, we'll go back to that here in just a minute because I want to stay on point on this explosion right now. Let me go to my DMs and see if what I can find. Let me get it off that right there. All right. Oh, here we go. Thank you for the video. All right, here we go. Oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. That's bad. That's really bad. Was no one on it? If no one was on it, then that I feel a lot better about it. It means that Jeff Bezos just lost a lot of money. So was no one on that? Was no one in the vicinity? No one was on it and no one was hurt. If no one was on it and no one was hurt, then fuck yeah, this is cool as shit. What are we talking about? All personnel accounted for. Well, then that's cool. There's a fine line between really cool and really sad. So there we have it. There's a very fine line. And you just saw that fine line right there. Is that it? Well, I mean, that was a hell of an explosion right there. What is this right here? Holy crap, a garbage truck driver absolutely lost it on anti-ICE rioters in Newark for blocking him from driving down the road. I've got kids. If I hit y'all, I go to jail. Uh-oh, hang on.
Don't I get locked up? Huh? What am I doing? Am I bothering y'all? Huh? If I hit one of y'all, I go to jail, right? Don't I go to jail?
There is nothing better than seeing Democrats protesting in the name of diversity, stopping a black father from doing his job.
Y'all. Huh? If I hit one of y'all, I go to jail, right? Don't I go to jail? If I hit y'all, I go to jail, right? Come on. What's wrong with y'all, man? Come on, man.
My man just wants to get his job done, go home, play some video games, and you got these fucking clowns out here in the name of diversity stopping this dude from doing his job.
Listen, relax.
No,
this is
we're not fucking relaxed. These are working class people just like us, bro. These are working class people just like us. What the fuck you actually know about theory if you're not here for the working class? This is working class people just like us. Those are the working class traders, not them. These are not the working class traders. They fucking are. Y'all doing the fucking most.
Oh, man. You love to see these idiots just, I mean, what do you expect, man? They don't care about any of this stuff. They don't care about any of this. They're just there to make themselves feel better. That's all this is. That's all it ever was. Community note is incorrect. Hang on. So we got community noted. Let's see. Hang on. Okay. And oh, they've removed the community note then. Okay. So let's see. Community note is incorrect. Our patriotic ICE agent here in Newark is indeed wearing a $10,000 Rolex over the top of his We the People tattoo. These guys have worked for every penny, much deserved. God bless ICE. Let's go.
All right, show it. We found it. It is actually a Rolex.
Does say Rolex.
Let's-
Community note is wrong, guys. It's wrong. It's wrong.
So we've got ICE agents rocking a Rolex. Nothing makes these people more angry than seeing someone with ICE successful. Get fucked, clowns, you woke losers. That is phenomenal.
Wrong. So God bless these guys. Watches of espionage hat.
That's awesome.
All right, show it.
That is awesome. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Since apparently we got a lot of stuff going on out here with these protesters and blocking people. Following our incredibly viral video showing a local garbage truck driver going off on rioters blocking his path outside of the ICE Newark PD decided to step up and have now shut the road down. In addition, Antifa sent their traffic units out. Now, it's nice to have a real attorney general because Attorney General Todd Blanche announces that leftists who threaten to assassinate ICE agents and their families in New Jersey will be arrested. It's nice to have an attorney general doing his job.
Children, your wife, all dead.
Wow.
I have your face, mother. You're dead. Dead.
You're dead, your children, your wife, your whole family, I'll kill them all. And then ironically says, I have your face. We all have his face.
Yeah, so do we. And look, that's a federal crime. And not only threatening the ICE officer, but think about how disgusting this individual is, threatening his family and his children with death. What is this man doing? He's just doing his job standing there. And so that is disgusting, that what you just showed, and we see his face. And I promise you, we will find him. And when we find him, we will arrest him, because it is a crime not only to threaten law enforcement, but not surprisingly to threaten their family as well.
All right, just in, this is breaking news. You're prepared.
Absolutely unhinged. These people are crazy. And on that note, we had another situation today that just, if this doesn't frustrate you, man, I'm not sure what's wrong with you, but Erica Kirk dealing with the lunatic. This poor woman, not even the biggest fan of hers, but this poor woman, man.
Breaking moments ago, a man reportedly accused of threatening to kill Erica Kirk. He is under arrest in Texas, according to local media. Police reportedly saying he posted about a bombing at a Turning Point USA event where Kirk is scheduled to speak next week. TPUSA says the event will go on. Senior correspondent Alicia Cunha live in Denver. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Martha. And this threat not only targeted Erica Kirk, but Turning Point USA events across the board. News stations in Texas report Jacob Wensky of San Antonio was arrested earlier today and now faces 2 felony counts for making terrorist threats against Erica Kirk and TPUSA's upcoming women's leadership event in that city. According to local reports, San Antonio police were alerted to Wensky after he allegedly commented on social media, quote, "I know exactly where to bomb." Investigators, according to reporting, say he also wrote in an email, quote, "Death to Erica Kirk and every single speaker there. America will live on without those scum of this earth. Every Christian nationalist shall perish in the bombing that will take place at every single Turning Point rally and event." TPUSA responded to the arrest on X, saying the organization takes all threats seriously and is working with law enforcement, adding, quote, "We are grateful to the San Antonio Police Department and the FBI for their rapid response and arrest of the individual making these threats. We refuse to let threats silence us. We look forward to a successful and inspiring gathering." Erica Kirk, her family, and the organization she now runs have been under near constant hostility by critics ever since Charlie was assassinated in September. Charlie Kirk's accused killer, Tyler Robinson, is scheduled for his preliminary hearing in early July. Erica Kirk has been pushing for maximum transparency with the public in that case. As for the San Antonio suspect, his next court appearance is set for August. Martha? Elise?
This is awful, man. Like, listen, you shouldn't blindly believe anyone or anything, but you should have some actual credible proof if you're going to accuse people of things. There is no credible proof that Erica Kirk had anything to do with anything regarding Charlie's assassination. It's crazy that we're even having that discussion. This woman has dealt with so much shit. And I want to qualify. I'm not even like a big fan of hers. I'm not really like, I don't know what I think about her leading Turning Point and all that, but guess what? That's not my decision. It's clear that Charlie loved her and Charlie wanted her to be involved in his company. Fine, whatever. The amount of insanity that this woman has faced is so sad. And, you know, and it does, like, I can't stop thinking about the fact that Quartering did that whole, like the video if you think Charlie Kirk is smiling down from heaven and liking, this story. And it's like, dude, the man's wife and family are constantly being attacked, and we're supposed to think that he's smiling down from heaven watching a Quartering video? What the fuck are you doing? It's so crazy. Tell the Earnhardt story, Jeremy, says Laughing Man. Well, I mean, again, that is relevant, but not really. I mean, ultimately, she's done nothing to drive the amount of hate that she's faced. She's done nothing. All she's done is existed. And now we have this right here. This happened today. This account says confirmed Erica Kirk has a new boyfriend. She was spotted getting handsy with new Jewish boyfriend, Blake Wynn. I have now confirmed through 2 separate sources that Erica has already moved on and fast. Okay. And this has gotten community noted. And she even responded, I think, right here. Yeah, she responded right here. And it's rare for her to respond. Every single word here is a lie. Charlie's love will last me a lifetime. The Lord is the only one who can ever fill the most painful void. And so she goes through all of this. And of course, this person responds because this person wanted a response from Erica Kirk. And Matt Walsh responded to it. This ridiculous slob has been harassing Erica with one retarded slanderous lie after another for months. He deserves to be sued into oblivion. But the problem is that he's almost certainly broke already and has no dignity or moral character to speak of. So he literally has nothing to lose by continuing this lunatic campaign. It's crazy, man. And Matt Walsh is correct. It's unbelievable. So that's I saw that going around today, and I'm just like, it's just sad. It's very, very sad. It's also sad that people now have just decided to use Charlie Kirk to push whatever agenda they want. Charlie would never have wanted this, or Charlie would, like, all I know is Charlie married a woman. Charlie had a family with a woman, and that woman is now stepping into his role after he was assassinated. Seems like that was probably what he wanted. Call me crazy for thinking that's probably what he wanted. Whether that's the right decision or the wrong decision is irrelevant. It's what he would have wanted. Same with the Earnhardt story. Like, Teresa Earnhardt completely ruined Dale Earnhardt's legacy. Do you know who decided to give Teresa Earnhardt all that power? Dale Earnhardt did. Dale made that choice. It was clearly not a good choice, but he made that choice to give her the power in the event that something happened to him, and she completely ruined his legacy. But he made that choice. Just like, you know, when people make choices, you have to live with those choices. George Lucas decided to give Kathleen Kennedy power over Star Wars. Was that the right choice? No, it wasn't. But that was a choice he made. Where we at? We got, let's see here. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, hey, Jeremy, I heard that your stream was cringe. This is for some quality improvements. The only thing I can improve is to stream more. That's the only thing I can do, is to stream more. Would you like me to stream more, chat? Is that what you would like? Because that's the only thing I can do to improve, is to maybe get better by doing it more and maybe learning. Or I could just ask you what you guys are doing this weekend. So I don't know. Justin for 50 says, I know this is late, but I had to pause for Culver's. ID4 was definitely an event. The theater by us had an actual military tank out front, and this was in Las Vegas. So when I got to Area 51, half the theater was cheering. Awesome experience. First of all, Culver's. Okay. Secondly, ID4 was an absolute event. It was absolutely crazy. It's hard to explain now because, you know, the big movie events are, you know, they happen so often, but back then when Independence Day happened, I had never experienced anything like it, man. I'll never forget it, man. It was the coolest thing ever. And I love the movie. Great. It was a great, great experience. So hail to you. Thank you, Justin. And look who shows up to the party. Laughing Man with 50 gifted memberships. Holy crap. 50 gifted memberships. God bless the USA. God bless Laughing Man. And God bless America's ass. There you have it right there. And you know what? Just because we need the red dress, we're going to have the red dress. Okay? T Little says, yes, stream more, tax. More streams? You want more? Luna is otherworldly. Agreed. And yes, Sydney Sweeney, a fan favorite around here for obvious reasons. Actually, there's two big reasons that Sweeney is, popular. I'll let you guys figure those out. And because Laughing Man is a big fan of this clip, we'll play it. Damn! One more time for the people in the back.
fall again.
Damn! So many questions. There's so many questions. How is that woman? Like, seriously, how is she doing? Is she okay? Is she all right? Hail Laughing Man. Thank you, brother. 50 gifted memberships. If only Steph was here to see it. Yes, Steph loves that clip. She loves that clip. Let's see. Dynamic says, remember ID4 was going against Schwarzenegger's Eraser? I had to go the next day to watch it, but Eraser was pretty dope. It was. I don't recall it going head to head with that movie. I remember that movie being out, but yeah, ID4 just took all the attention. So I don't actually recall it going head to head with Eraser. But if you say it did, it did. I don't remember. I don't remember that one. Thank you, Laughing Man. Hail to you, brother. As always. Next up on the agenda, because we got more to talk about, because we always do. Oh, it's making the rounds, dude. An albino buffalo nicknamed Donald Trump was saved from whatever type of sacrifice in Bangladesh. So this is the video of him. Look at him. Look at this. How does he have this hair? How does this? How is this real? I do love this story, man. It's just so crazy, man. It literally looks like Trump. Now it's a tourist attraction. It's my favorite story. It's the craziest thing ever, man. I know, me either. BMCCB says, that'll do good, Jer. That'll do. Thank you, BMCCB. Hail to you. The other thing I did want to talk about was our good friend. Our good friend. You all know who our good friend is. E. Jean Carroll, ladies and gentlemen. So we talked about this yesterday, and CNN wants to talk about it. DOJ's E. Jean Carroll probe is a mistake from CNN. They're very unhappy about this.
The Justice Department opened a criminal investigation into E. Jean Carroll, the former magazine columnist who accused President Trump of sexual assault. The department is examining whether she committed perjury regarding outside funding for her legal fight. Separate juries awarded Carroll more than $88 million. They found the president liable for sexually abusing her in a New York department store in the mid-1990s and defaming her in 2019 when he repeatedly denied the assault. The president is pursuing appeals in both cases. With us now, CNN political commentator Alyssa Farah Griffin. She was the communications director for the Trump White House. E. Jean Carroll won.
So you were a communications director for the Trump White House. Now you're working for CNN. Okay.
These cases against the president. The jury found him liable for sexual abuse. Now she is being investigated herself. What message does that send?
Well, first and foremost, from a PR perspective, because that's my background, I will never understand why this administration wants to put some of the worst associations of the president back in the headlines. Most of us have kind of forgotten about the E. Jean Carroll suit, the allegations, what he was ultimately found liable for, and now it puts it front and center. It's very.
He was found liable of rape of this lunatic woman. And you wonder why they want this back out in the forefront? The fact that she even said that shows why she doesn't work for the Trump White House anymore. By the way, ranking for 5 get to memberships over on Rumble. Thank you, brother.
Very similar to the January 6 cases. DOJ wants to keep rehashing them, but then Republicans also say, oh, Democrats keep talking about January 6. No, this president keeps talking about the election lies January 6. So from purely a standpoint of wanting to focus on his domestic agenda and move forward, this makes zero sense.
That was so interesting because that was my follow-up question here, which is, what do they get out of putting this out there months before a midterm?
Absolutely nothing. It's not a headline that they want. And we've seen a number of these cases go.
Imagine saying this after Trump has done all of the shit that he has done and saying this is something new. What do you mean that they don't want this out there? This isn't like something that Trump, this isn't an association as she claimed, by the way. This is someone that has lied about him, and the media propped this lunatic up. The media doesn't want this person back into the spotlight because the media doesn't want to have to answer for you giving this person all of this attention and acting like this was a credible person. The media doesn't want this to be brought back up. That's what's going on here.
Forward, James Comey and others, where they overreached. DOJ was not able to get the outcome that they wanted. And I suspect this will be a similar case. I'm not from a legal perspective, but based on what we know, should be the last thing Donald Trump wants to talk about in the twilight of his presidency. He should be focusing on the economy, gas prices, the war in Iran, not relitigating this.
Illis, you know people either who worked for the White House or who were connected with them who then split. And I'm just wondering how much fear there is out there among people who do have a rift with the administration about being investigated.
I don't know if I'd frame it as fear, but sort of an acceptance that folks are going to be investigated. I think of Chris Krebs, of Miles Taylor, other critics of the president who are already going through those legal proceedings now. And I think folks knew to lawyer up and be ready because this is a president who was very clear that he was going to be doing a bit of a revenge tour. I would just hope that advisors around the president, I know this is something Susie Wiles pushed, this is not what you won on. You may have talked about it on the campaign trail, but it's not why people entrusted you with the American presidency. Focus on actually delivering for the American people.
Joining us right now is CNN senior legal analyst, former federal prosecutor, Ellie Honig. Thanks for coming in, Ellie. I really appreciate it. So as John was just saying, this is now an investigation into E. Jean Carroll, questions about perjury, and gets to the 2020.
Yeah, it's clear as day that the media does not want this discussed. That's becoming clear as day now. And why? Because you guys gave this freak credibility. Laughing Man for 50 says, what's better, Harambe or Buffalo Donald Trump? Airplane Wi-Fi tax, Ryan is happy in Japan tax, present stream grift tax, aliens exposed on FF tax, you're fascinating to talk to tax, what are the oranges for tax, your dead channel is under attack tax 199. Fuck, that was a lot. Okay. I think that there's no way to compare Buffalo Donald Trump to Harambe because Harambe has stood the test of time. Harambe has gone on for over a decade now. So Harambe is going to win that just on, longevity. I do think that the Buffalo Donald Trump thing is super cool, but Buffalo Donald Trump is going to have to last for like 10 years in order to be in the Harambe is the king, dude. Harambe is the king meme. So I'm going to have to say Harambe wins that. Now we can revisit that years down the line, but Buffalo Donald Trump can't compete. Airplane Wi-Fi tax, which was nice, but I still don't ever want to fly again. Ryan is happy in Japan, which is, again, not something I'm a fan of. So, yeah, we'll see. But thank you, Laughing Man. And what are the oranges for? Does anybody know what the oranges are for? Harambe is eternal. He absolutely is. He absolutely is.
22 deposition that Carroll gave. What does the Justice Department need to show or prove? And how serious of a case is this again?
So perjury cases are serious. They're punishable by maximum 5 years in prison, but they're much harder for prosecutors to prove than I think people might realize. So what prosecutors will have to show here to have an indictment against E. Jean Carroll is that A, she gave false testimony about whether she knew where this funding was coming from.
Oh, well, then why would we want to have that conversation? Like, again, the fact that CNN is asking why is this even being discussed based on what she's accused of, you idiots. That's what. My goodness, man. Magna Norris for 50 says, Laughing Man, you drunk as fuck tax Lamau. You think, is Laughing Man a little tipsy? Is that why he's being nice to me tonight? You think so? That's an interesting observation there, Magnum Norris.
B, that the way she was asked the question was unambiguous, that there's no wiggle room, there's no confusion about what the question was or what the answer was. See that she knew it was false at that time in 2022 at the deposition. And then D, the prosecutors will have to show what we call materiality, meaning was the thing she allegedly lied about relevant to some substantial issue in.
Just for the record, the guy that's talking, clearly a gay, clearly.
The case, it's not enough if it was just some detail or some throwaway. So those are the things prosecutors have to show. And of course, Kate, beyond a reasonable doubt when it gets to a jury, if and when it gets to
the
a jury.
materiality, I think is one of the questions that people will have is this isn't there. It's not, and I don't want to say quibble like it's not serious, but it's not a question about her telling the truth regarding a key element of what she has accused the president of. No, this is about just funding for her legal fees. Why does that matter?
Right. It has nothing to do with the alleged sexual assault inside the department store. But I think the argument prosecutors will make on materiality is the defense argument, Donald Trump's defense at that civil case was in part that E. Jean Carroll had fabricated this story about what happened in the department store to take him down politically. And the argument would be if she was indeed being funded by Democratic mega donors, that would be relevant to her motive. So that'll be the argument. I actually do think if they can prove she knowingly lied, I do think they will be able to satisfy materiality. The bar, by the way, for materiality is very low. You just have to show that it was relevant to some fact in the case.
But and another aspect of this is just if you add into in the context of this pattern of retribution that we have seen from the Justice Department, from President Trump, especially of recent, how does that add into this?
So this is very relevant legally, and this could overcome the entire case. If there comes a day where E. Jean Carroll gets charged, she will have a very strong vindictive prosecution defense. The textbook definition of vindictive prosecution is
I love how they keep putting this up. Trump's target, the targets of Trump's DOJ. None of these people are good people. This judge me by my enemies. Well, there is Trump's enemies right there. These are all horrible, horrible people. And you guys keep thinking that this makes Trump look bad. This makes him look good. These are terrible people right here.
But he asserts their rights, let's say by a lawsuit, and wins, and then gets punished with a prosecution in return. And so she will have a very strong case. And this, of course, is not happening in a vacuum, Kate. We've seen politically targeted prosecutions that have failed against Letitia James, against Jim Comey, against Mark Kelly, against Alyssa Slotkin, an investigation of Jerome Powell on down the line. So she'll have a powerful defense to be made, but she can't do it now. She can only do it if and when there comes a day where she gets indicted.
Joining me now is someone who was targeted, who has been targeted by the administration, and he knows firsthand what that's like. National Security Attorney Mark Zaid represents several Trump critics who has been singled out by this administration. Mark, I want to begin, first of all.
You see the emotional manipulation, the way that the media operates? Do you see that?
Look, set the stage here. How is it possible that a civil lawsuit that does not involve federal prosecutors would now be investigated for perjury as if you lied to the government? This is very rare. I haven't heard of this before.
It is incredibly rare, but everyone who sits in a deposition, civil depositions, I've taken God knows how many, dozens, hundreds of them. There's an oath that is administered at the beginning, and it is the same type of oath that if you testified in court, whether a civil case or a criminal case. But it is incredibly rare that someone would be prosecuted by the federal government for lying in a deposition. There are examples. We're talking about some sex-related cases here. Bill Clinton, back in the 1990s with Monica Lewinsky, the independent counsel investigated him, with Paula Jones, investigated him as to whether or not he had lied under oath. And now that was the independent counsel, federal government against federal government.
Is this, somebody said this, they said, you're not Larry King lady. Is this their new Larry? Like, is this what this show is supposed to be? Is this supposed to be the Larry King Live? Oh my God, is this Larry King Live for the modern audience? I had no idea if that's what it, I mean, I see the background kind of looks familiar to Larry King. This is the DEI Larry King Live. I had no idea. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
But it was from a civil deposition. And at that time, people were asking the same type of questions. When is the last time this ever happened? I've been practicing 35 years almost. I've never seen this happen. But they came up with, there's a handful cases here, a handful there. Usually when someone's paid to lie or there's a systemic threat to the...
It's the memes are crazy because we all meme on this stuff. And yet here it is right here. Netflix presents Larry King Live.
Justice system, not like this type of case that just reeks of retribution given who the players are.
Let's talk about the idea of payment that has come up in this particular matter. I mean, it was Reid Hoffman, who we mentioned as somebody who helped to pay legal expenses. And here's what he said when he addressed this issue in the past.
It is a standard practice.
Reid
It
Hoffman.
happens a lot where there's outside funding of lawsuits. We didn't encourage the lawsuit to happen. We only got on board after she'd already filed it and was down the road.
This mother.
Now, why that's important is based on what you just said. The idea of somebody being paid to lie. It appears that might be the connection they're trying to look at here. It's unclear. But does the fact that he funded the suit after it was already in the universe going to impact how they see this case?
No, I don't think so. And paid to lie would be literally someone was paid to lie in the case as, for example, an expert witness. In this case, what she knows when she knew it is going to be key. Did she know that there was funding coming in? At what level? Did she know all the details? As a lawyer, we do crowdfunding at times to raise cases.
All right, fuck this guy. This guy's a piece of shit. But I did, this did make me think of a moment with Trump. Trump never, ever gave a fuck. Okay. And this is proof right here. Okay. This was Trump on Larry King Live, and he liked Larry King. Okay. He liked Larry King. But Trump did say this to Larry King right here. Okay.
Do you mind if I sit back a little bit because your breath is very bad? Do you mind if I sit back a little bit because your breath is very bad? It really is. Has this ever been told to you before? No. Huh? Okay, then I won't bother.
Trump just doesn't care, man.
Do you mind if I sit back a little bit because your breath is very bad? It really is. Has this ever been told to you before? No. Huh? Okay, then I won't bother.
We went from, and look, he's laughing about it. Larry King's laughing. He's like, oh, whatever. Come on, man. This is where we are now. We have DEI Larry King Live. Get the hell out of here, dude. I don't watch CNN enough to know the shit that they're, throwing out there. So I really had no idea. BMCCB for that 20. Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. T Little says, yes, stream more tax. Magnum Norris says, leftist violence rhetoric cannot continue to be tolerated under the law. If they threaten people, it should be taken seriously. We need to go back to McCarthyism. Joe McCarthy was right. Thank you, Magnum Norris. Appreciate it. JDT says, this ultra-terrestrial guy in the chat is a moron. That's all. Thank you for your attention. It's matter. I haven't seen them. Is he still in? I don't know what's his name? Ultra-terrestrial guy? Does he not like me? I mean, if I would have saw his comments, I would have highlighted it so I could get some super chats out of it. So I have not seen anything yet. Magnum Norris says, this is why Hassan Piker should face the Piper because he escalated the murderous thought process that took Charlie's life and the lives of countless others if we don't do anything. 100%. 100%, man. Magnum Norris says, hey, Jeremy, I have 2 tickets to the next rocket to the moon. Are you down? I'm going to pass, but I do appreciate the offer. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to a point where I can get Laughing Man to super chat me, but I cannot get him to super chat me. I can't do it. I've tried even now when Magnum Norris is accusing him of being drunk. I still can't get a super chat out of him. Little Jim Salo says, dude to whizzing to wall incident check bounce. Wait, What, Little Jim's Halo? What the hell? I know what you're trying to say, but it was very confusing, okay? Joe Bit says Star Fox and 40X will be like sitting in a Rumble pack. Miniature Von Thing says the crazy thing about the aliens.gov is that it was a long con rug pull troll. Tim Cass has been talking about the website for months. Jason Becker says Thomas Massey, Squawk Terror, the traitors. I need a Kevin Spacey, Lex Luthor. Wrong. Shout. That is a great moment. Even though I hated Lex Luthor or Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor, I hated it. Slain Hope says, hail the 199, hail the Snake Pit, hail good Jeremy. East Coast Toast Boy says the AI shekel joke was for APL, haha. MacGyver says, I was born MAGA and had to wait for the world to catch up. I respect that. Steel Leg says, Jeremy, I want to thank you in the chat for all the support and prayers. The last few weeks were rough. Spending time with the family here has helped. 199, thank you. Prayers up for you, brother. I know it's been a lot. So shout out to you and your family and hail to the chat. Miniature From Thing says, before he died, the last thing Charlie Kirk told me was, I don't care what they told you in school. Helen of Troy was black. That doesn't sound like something Charlie said, but I've heard that all you have to say is the last thing Charlie told me before he died, and you just have to automatically believe it. Beastie Man says, well, time to watch Backrooms. Hail Jeremy and Donald J. Trump. Captain J6 says, wow, a year and a half of gifted memberships. Best chat ever. Also, sadly, you are my main source of news because I don't have other social media. I apologize. Big time. I apologize. Aaron Adams says, I just don't like that he wants a deal. Talking about Trump with Iran. Fantastic Knox says, funny seeing Tallarico % in free fall. Darth Gavel says, Vance Trump 2028, USA. Steel Leg says, Wahoo tax. Hydronic says, ropes on the mattress. That's what the oranges are for. Good to know. Slade says, Beardo would say Selma is mid. He probably would. Jeremy Hamley says, I hate my wife. Heel Reps says, what the fuck am I watching, tax? Miniature Ron thinks says, can we watch the Selma Hayek video on 0.25 speed? Knights of Ben says, I found Ryan video in Japan. Good watch. Better than Mando. That's not saying a lot. Graptar Timer says, Elon posted evidence of aliens on his locals page. No, so no one saw it. I get that joke. Dark Red Knight says, what's your opinion on ghosts? I've never had any experiences with ghosts. I've attempted, but I've never had any experiences. So, I mean, I have my beliefs on religion and spirituality and all of that, but in terms of ghosts, I've never had an experience. Johnny the Wizkid says, I like Markiplier's earlier times when he played Five Nights at Freddy's, Give Up, and I Am Bread. Mario Maker, he did play a lot. Like I have seen some of the FNAF videos from Markiplier. And Getting Over It. Getting Over It was huge. That was a huge one right there. PewDiePie playing Getting Over It was amazing. Magnum Norris says, yeah, the Gangsta Academy. Your Barmy says, Amazon unintentionally trolls Nolan pre-Odyssey. Soundwave Superior says, that's bad tax. Johnny Witzka says, I leave Japan again for 2 weeks. Wish me luck. Have fun, brother. Turkey Jizz says, it's my birthday, Jeremy. I turned 41. Can I get a birthday shout out? Hail the Snake Pit. Hail the 199. Happy 41st birthday, brother. And listen, I've never met you. I don't really know you personally, but judging on your profile picture, I have to ask, have you ever thought about getting into politics? Just saying, based on your profile picture, I think politics is the place for you, brother. And you know what? We might as well.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and then they got go. Gotta wake up, bitch, get up. Get up. Get up.
He said, that's a great idea, Jeremy. So, happy birthday, man. South Perspective says, I was talking about Massey supporters. Those people are unbelievably boring. Yeah, I agree with that. Vault 199 says, without X, we wouldn't know about the garbage man. It's true. Without Twitter, there's a lot we wouldn't know. Incoherent Name says that Larry King clip perfectly encapsulates why Tucker hates Trump. Tucker has done several rants about how you shouldn't be blunt if it hurts others' feelings, which is the antithesis, I messed that one up, of how Trump operates. Yeah, I have heard Tucker say that, where he's like, you shouldn't be honest if it hurts someone's feelings. It's like, shut the fuck up. That's a really pussy way of thinking. Godzilla's Greaser says, why is our religion the only one that's okay to demoralize and threaten? I mean, I don't have to give you the answer for you to know the answer, but it's obvious. And this is where common sense is really what I try to apply to everything. And if you're just looking at the fact that Christianity is the only religion that it's okay to demoralize and threaten, what does that tell you? Like, you can bring all of the other crazy scenarios and crazy beliefs, you can bring all that into it. But at the core, why is it okay to demoralize and threaten Christianity? And I think that when you get to that answer, which is a very simple answer, it's very easy to have your beliefs. At least that's the way I operate anyway. Taker says, can anyone tell me what a Christian nationalist is? That seems to be the term I've never heard of until it became widespread Democrat talking points. They like, the thing with the term nationalist is the Democrats have used that. They apply anything and then they put it in front of like a word and they put nationalist, behind it. And it's a meant to attack. That's all it is. Movie Erotic says, you saw Spider Noir TV. It's great. What do you think? I saw the first episode and I really enjoyed it. Spider Noir with Nicolas Cage. I saw the first episode. I'm planning on watching more tonight. Really enjoyed it. I'm also watching Dutton Ranch, which 3 episodes in is really good. And this is another kind of a bigger discussion that I probably need to have on Geeks and Gamers. But like overall, man, like entertainment is in a much better place. It's still got a lot of problems. Obviously, we got the Odyssey coming up with DEI written all over it. But I mean, if you just look at this year, we've had Project Hail Mary. We've had the Michael movie. We had the Mario movie. We've had, Obsession. We've had Backrooms, which is going to be, again, I didn't love it, but it's I appreciate the attempt that we've had on it. It's going to make probably pretty good money. Then of course we've got the garbage ass Mando movie. You got Toy Story 5, which is tracking to be huge. And I think the trailers look great for that. I think Spider-Man is going to be huge. I think Dune 3 is going to be huge. I still think the Odyssey is going to be a huge movie. Avengers. And there's just a lot, man. There's a lot of good shit that's coming out this year. And then on the TV side, we've had in the last couple of years, you had Landman, which I think is just awesome. I'm really liking Dutton Ranch right now. The Spider Noir, at least the first episode, I enjoyed. I've seen other people that have reacted positively to it. Been a lot of good stuff, man. So we'll see. There's still some dog shit out there, and Disney Star Wars still sucks. Disclosure Day, Dune 3. Dutton Ranch is pretty good. So far, 3 episodes. I'm enjoying it. Not Jeremy Hamley says, why wouldn't Charlie spend eternity watching his kindred spirit who invented the news to own the libs? I bet Charlie is smiling down, left a like. Johnny Whiskey says, ID4 scared me when I was young. I thought it was real. Grapthar Sammer says, thought Trump was the GOAT. Turns out he's the ox. Dynamic says, I could be wrong about the timing. My bad. Oh, it's all good. I'm just saying I don't remember. I could be wrong too. So I have been wrong every time I've streamed. I've been wrong every time I've streamed about something because I am a retard. The Odyssey is dog shit that will make money. It's definitely going to make money. And then Brenda says, no one will watch the Odyssey. Okay. Keep believing that. Magnum Norris says, I think Daphne Keene might take Sydney Sweeney's queen crown. Looking good. Joe C says, you won't believe this, but one of my sons is helping secure the place that Marco Rubio is appearing at tonight in Westlake, California. That's awesome. Hell yeah, man. Ruben says, Trump is not only the GOAT, he is the great white buffalo. The great white buffalo. Hell yeah, man. Nas says, Harambe died so that Buffalo Trump could live. Hell yeah. Taker says, if your style is like comb over, it's Trump, but if you part in the middle, it's Eric Trump. If you have a baseball cap on it on the cow, it's Jeremy. Not Jeremy Hambley says, I think Laughing Man has a drinking problem. Is it because of this? Even put the prayer emoji. Even put the... Jared the American says Netflix's Larry King will be called Letitia Queen. Magnum North says Larry King looks like an owl. Corn Pop says Google been what is this? Is this some kind of inside joke, Corn Pop? East Coast Social Boy says Mark also has an albino snake that hates him. If you know, you know. Slain Hope says, will you go skydiving if chat gives you 19K? No. No. Not even close. Udaman says becomes a member or as a member message for 20 months. Mr. Bentham says, you're fascinated to talk to, Jer. Slain Hope says, will you go skydiving if chat gives you 10K? You just said 19K. If I said no at 19K, why would I say yes to 10K? No, I wouldn't do it for 100K. Maybe $1 million. Would I go skydiving for $1 million? I don't know if I would do it for $1 million. I really don't know. I don't think I'd do it for $1 million. Magnum North says reading Supers after time when it was spoke about is always funny because the channel host can't remember anything from 5 minutes ago like a hamster. Oh man. Jeremy's crippling fear of heights worth 1 million. It's not necessarily heights as much as it's control. That's really what it's more about. Corn Pop says, oh, I got that. You need me to read? No, I'm not Googling shit for $1.99 super chat. Okay. My algorithm's already fucked up enough as it is. Keck Lord says Spider Noir is an 8.5 out of 10. Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to catching up on it. I'm going to be Frank says, would you do a G&G Glory Dogs stream for $10? $10? Fuck, man. You guys think I'm cheap? Rankin. Holy crap. Hold on. Did I miss this? Hang on. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. It's weird. It showed up. My extension on Rumble, it says that Rankin dropped 35 gifted memberships. But then it said he only dropped 5. But then it gives me 5 different counts. So did Rankin drop 35 total gifted memberships on Rumble? Did I miss that? Or not? I don't know. Did I miss that, chat? See, the problem with Rumble is I have to download this extension to tell me about super chats because I can't keep up with them through StreamYards. But this is what it shows me right here. It says Rankin gifted 5, but it gives me a number of 35 people. Then it goes 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. I have no idea what the hell's going on over on Rumble. Well, whatever says I left oranges in Quartering's chat a couple days ago. My message was immediately removed and I got banned. He's so insecure. That is crazy. So he just dropped 5. Okay. Well, there's just a glitch on this extension, you know, but either way, all good. Thank you for the gifties, brother. Really appreciate it. And hail to the chat. Over on Kick, we did have a sub. Is it Peliquin, is that what it was? You gifted a sub. So thank you for the gifted subby over on Kick. Appreciate that. Arclight says, look up the game Dead as Disco and the MJ Smooth Criminal mod. The game is cool to mod and stuff. There's a lot of MJ mods out there that are really freaking cool. I've seen some of them. But yeah, I don't do a lot of modding myself, but I am I do like looking at some of those videos for sure. Dude, the memes are out of control right now. What is happening? Look at this crew right here. Look at this crew. Look at this crew over in Japan. Look at that. Look at Gary down there on the end. They're just having so much fun. Look, man, Japan looks awesome. Okay. I definitely want to go to Japan. Maybe in the next 2 years, I'm able to take a trip to Japan if I live that long, but I don't know. But Gary had a viral clip or something like that, didn't he? Gary had this viral clip. Let's see here. Let me find it. Was it here? No. Yeah, 24,000 likes, 3 million views for Gary, where he said, Osaka, Japan, it's just like an American city, minus horns, garbage, the smell of urine, the smell of shit, constant sirens, and fentanyl zombies.
This is a major city. 2.81 million people. 7 a.m. Do not hear the horn. It is quiet. I'm probably the most obnoxious, loudest person here. And I'm trying to talk as quietly as possible.
So he said, I'm probably the most loud and obnoxious person here, and I'm trying to talk as quietly as possible. But yeah, so 3.4 million views on that. That's crazy. So not like LA. Yeah. Not like LA or any other major city in the United States of America. Welcome to diversity is our strength. Diversity is our strength is the biggest lie you were ever told. Diversity is not our strength. Diversity is nowhere near our strength. So that is the biggest lie you were ever told. Let's see here. Aaron Adams says Christian nationalist is people that want to tell people how to live and take over the government using Christ's name. It's real. I've researched it. Turkey Jizz says, Mayor Turkey Jizz. I like the sound of that. Don't we all? Don't we all? But yeah, diversity to our strength is, that's bullshit. Big time. Democratic run everything is ruination. Yes, correct. And this is why it's important to support Trump. Simple as that. This isn't complicated at all. Spencer Pratt won over Greg Gutfeld's audience when Gutfeld asked him about celebrities secretly endorsing him for mayor of Los Angeles. Really? Okay. Let's hear this. I haven't heard this.
You have celebrities that are now coming out in support of you, but they will deny it, won't they? Leo DiCaprio, Jamie Foxx.
You know, what I've learned is I actually don't want celebrities to come out and endorse me. I don't want anybody to endorse me except for the moms and the animal lovers in LA. That's my entire.
Oh my goodness. What a freaking answer. What a freaking answer.
Jamie Foxx.
You know, what I've learned is I actually don't want celebrities to come out and endorse me. I don't want anybody to endorse me except for the moms and the animal lovers in LA. That's my entire vote.
Yeah.
Because that's, you know, so I'm cool if no celebrity ever endorses me. I actually love when the celebrities attack me because then I'm like, oh, I'm doing so well.
But I mean, DiCaprio, did it happen?
It did. That was,
yeah.
I love Titanic. It was a great movie.
That was about as a perfect of answer as I've ever heard. Holy crap. Wow. That was good. That was really good. I haven't been following this that closely. I mean, I've heard he's had a lot of momentum, but I haven't been following it that closely. But that was a good answer. That makes me a fan right there. So Spencer Pratt says he never wanted to become mayor before, but felt the need to step up because the city deserves a leader who tells the truth.
I'm the look around candidate. I do basics. I don't do national politics. I don't do parties. I just say, look, they're stealing all of our tax money to give it to drug addicts, to have needles and tourniquets. And they're actually even selling the drugs to these addicts to let these people die on our sidewalks. I want to be the compassionate one, get these people mandatory treatment, medical treatment with doctors to help them get off of fentanyl and super meth. And that is what people actually want in LA. As much as everybody wanted to believe the people that have been in charge, my opponents combined are at almost 10 years of their experience, they are failures. And so people want an outsider that's not a politician, that's just saying the facts, the truth. These people have failed us. They've spent all of our tax money to increase problems. And I keep it basic. And again, I never wanted to be the mayor. I just wanted somebody to tell the truth. And by telling the truth, now the people are behind me, and I will continue to speak the truth on behalf of Los Angeles for as far as they want to push me.
Sounds a little bit like a young, vibrant man named Donald Trump. Trump didn't want to be president. He was asked about it for 30 years, and he kept saying, I don't want to be president. And, you know, these people kept screwing up, and he basically said, all right, I have no choice. So here we are. And, yeah. So I mean, again, I don't know what chance this guy has, but he seems to have a lot of momentum, and he seems to be very media savvy, which is important for this. So yeah, that was cool. I did see this the other day too. See if I can find it. Now this is a separate, thing altogether. So, but yeah, with him, this answer on Gutfeld is got to be one of the best answers I've ever heard. So shout out to him for that. And you need to continue to have those types of answers. Now, I don't know where the thing with Leonardo DiCaprio came from. I would be very shocked if Leonardo DiCaprio endorsed him, even privately. DiCaprio doesn't get enough credit for being a fucking left-wing lunatic. He does not. Now, to be fair, we all love Leo's movies. He's great. He's an all-time great actor, but he doesn't get enough credit for being just as deranged as a lot of these other Hollywood celebrities. He does a better job of not putting it on Front Street, but he absolutely is one of those guys. He is a complete lunatic, and he just doesn't get enough credit for it. And obviously, I mean credit, in a very sarcastic way. But I'm very, very happy that dude, this is a winning moment though, right here. When you sit there and say, I don't want a celebrity endorsement when you're in California, this has the power of Trump standing on the debate stage in South Carolina when George W. Bush had a 95% approval rating within Republicans in that state, and stood on that stage and called the Bush administration out for lying about weapons of mass destruction, and got booed out of the building and didn't give a fuck. And at that moment, that was Trump going, I'm different than everybody. This guy running for mayor of California, or of LA, for him to sit there in the state of California to go, not only do I know anything, I don't know anything about these celebrity endorsements, but I actually don't want any of these celebrity endorsements. Boom. That's a winning approach right there. Okay, changing subjects, because I did see this the other day and I haven't watched it, but apparently, remember Billy Bush? Billy Bush cracks up Bill Maher by reading signed list of insults Trump has called him in Trump's voice. I haven't heard this yet, so let's see if it's any good.
Grab that off the wall. That's his signature. Oh. I brought that into the Oval Office.
Oh, wow.
It's every insult he's ever had.
Every insult Trump has ever said about him. That's amazing.
He's ever had said to me up until that point.
These are all the words he's called you?
All
Stupid,
the words.
angry. Which do you agree with?
Okay,
Dopey, dummy.
Go ahead, read them.
Terrible student, not considered smart, no mojo. I think you got mojo.
Keep going.
Nervous,
Yeah.
low-life dummy, so-called comedian, not a smart guy. Better than Sominex, whatever that is. Fired like a dog, dumbass, not an intellectual. Terrible show. Moron, stupid guy, bad ratings, failing comedian. A rather dumb guy, Crazy Bill. Pathetic, bloated, gone. Bill Maher suffers from the same affliction as CNN. Very bad ratings. Dumb as a rock. Sick, insane, wacko, very sad, crazy maniac. Third-rate comedian, still a very dumb guy. Wacky guy. Totally shot. Looks like terrible, exhausted, gaunt, and weak. He's a jerk, a loser, a sleazebag, really a dumb guy. Stone cold, crazy guy. Wacky little Bill Maher, drum beat. Oh my God, the dumbest man on television. Boring, shell of a man, big fail on CNN. Net worth, the watch. Okay. Low ratings, highly overrated, increasingly boring comedian. A befuddled mess, sloppy and tired. His show is dead. That's all of them.
Oh my God.
It's just the idea.
It's so good, dude.
So
That,
Listen, not a big fan of Bill Maher, but for him to get Trump to sign this is pretty fantastic. And the fact that Trump signed it, of course Trump signed it. Of course he would do that.
that a man,
It's so great.
a man could, without trying, obviously, this is over many years, come up with that many different. I didn't make this up. These are real.
It's romantic.
It's almost romantic.
It's almost
exactly.
romantic.
And then he signed it. It's my prized possession.
It's beautiful.
I mean that he would just right away once he did that, I knew this is gonna be a fun night.
Yeah. Did he sign it off the bat in the Oval?
Right off the bat. I mean, it wasn't like I pulled it out of my. This is a copy. The real one would have it. I have it in my safe. Has a crease down because it was in my pocket. But he right away, without hesitation, signed it, and I will always treasure it. And by the way, there's 10 more since he started attacking me again that are not on this list. That there will have to be an addendum made.
A second dinner.
But I mean, you read them brilliantly. By
Thank
the way,
you.
that was
I did it quickly.
That was
I know.
a genius performance. I don't know if they give some sort of Emmy type award for whatever we're doing.
I'd like to
But
add
you
a
should
few
get
more
one.
adjectives to it and just
All
say intelligent, terrific, welcoming, wonderful guy, probably very handsome, beautiful.
Thank you.
Tremendous, beautiful.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank you, Bill.
And accommodating the Club Random vibe.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Don't let that flow. That's a absolute
Oh, I know.
gem.
You know, I mean, like I'm not a fan of Bill Maher, but his self-awareness is very, very respectable. So it's a weird kind of situation with him because I do think he's kind of out of his mind most of the time. But I appreciate self-awareness. I appreciate that more than almost anything with people on the internet. Self-awareness is the single most powerful superpower you can have as an internet person. Just have self-awareness, simple as that. But that was a good thing to end everything on. Well, let's see. Gen X Memory says, Jeremy, why don't you and some of your buddies come to the Southern Fried Gaming Expo in Atlanta in late July? We could drink beer and play some games. Well, I don't drink beer, but I understand the offer. But yeah, we could hang out and all that. I've done a lot of traveling in the last couple of months, and now with Vegas, with the date of August 6th, I think is what it was, being out there and being official. That's going to have to be my focus because I have to pick and choose my travels because it takes me away from content when I do that. So, but thank you for the invite. I do appreciate it. And with that said, we're going to call it a night, ladies and gentlemen. I will be live on Friday Night Tights tomorrow, and then I will do CobraCast tomorrow night. Other than that, I don't know if I'm going to do an early one. I don't know if I'll do an earlier CobraCast before FNT or not. I'm not sure yet. Incoherent name for 50 says, my respect for DiCaprio was elevated by his performance in The Revenant. Only for it to immediately crater when I watched his Oscars speech acceptance speech where he went on a global warming rant. I stopped watching award shows after that. Yeah, I actually feel like, listen, the Revenant was amazing and he was amazing in it. I do feel that I got to remember the nominees from that year. I feel like he didn't deserve it that year, but I'd have to look back. But he's deserved it in so many other years. Leo DiCaprio, Oscar win. Who was the other nominees? Let me see. I can't remember who the other nominees were that year. But I feel like there was one performance where I thought deserved it more, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me see if I can find the nominees. Looking for it to see. But anyway, I'm not going to spend all my time looking for the nominees or whatever they were that year. But because I think, what was it? The Wolf of Wall Street was the year previously. And I was like, man, he should have won it for Wolf of Wall Street big time. Absolutely should have. But either way, he's one of the greatest actors for sure. And seeing if I can find, I can't find it right now. But he is again, man, this is the thing about people in Hollywood that even I said this long before the Odyssey controversy, that I am just expecting Christopher Nolan to let me down. And, maybe he's about to do that with the Odyssey. I mean, I'm already disappointed in the casting and everything, but you truly can't have you can't have faith in anyone in Hollywood for the long term. You just can't. Hollywood is a terrible place full of terrible people. And if you're at the top in Hollywood, eventually you're going to, no matter how much you like somebody, or like their films or their acting or their directing, they're eventually going to show you who they are. Hollywood's a terrible, terrible, terrible place for the terrible people. Laughing Man says, I'm disappointed in Jeremy every stream. So anyway, Coopster says, Lady Aaron D, tell Jeremy to shut up so I can watch it again. What am I supposed to do? Hang on. I'm looking now. What are y'all talking about? I'm confused. I'm trying to look, but I can't see. Jeremy's just dragging this on, isn't he? Yes. Is that okay? But I am going to watch Spider Noir tonight, and I do appreciate it. Watch Spider Noir. That's exactly what I'm going to watch. That's what I'm going to watch tonight. So I don't know if I'll get through all of it, but I'm going to try to get through a few episodes. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. I'll see you guys tomorrow for FNT, and then for CobraCast, I'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.